What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new, what's up? In today's video, I'm coming to you guys with my November wrap-up. Your girl was able to complete a total of 10 books this month, and I'm very proud of myself. I ain't gonna cap, because you guys know last month was a little bit of a miss more than a hit. And if you guys don't know, my reading goal for the entire year is 100 books. And so because I read a total of 10 books last month. Your girl is currently sitting at 90 books. So your girl's only got to read about 10 books this month to complete my whole entire challenge. And you know, my goal that I set for myself this year. And your girl has been really pretty much on a manga, you know what I'm saying, like your girl just been pretty much reading a lot of manga. So to be honest with you guys, your girl is pretty much going to complete my 10 book goal for the month. And I do have some other books that are just regular books that I am excited, I really want to hop into this month as well. But I ain't gonna cap, I'm probably gonna read make sure I read a lot of manga so I can complete my goal of the year. But yeah, so in today's video, as you guys know, I'm going to come to you guys and go in order. If you're not new to this and you're true to this, then you already know how your girl does it. I start from the lowest rating to my highest rating as far as my monthly wrap-ups go. So again, I'll start from my 1 stars all the way up to my 5 stars, and that's just how we'll do it. And again, I have a total of 10 books I'm going to be talking to you guys about this video. So with all that being said, let's just go ahead and hop right into the video. Alrighty, so the first book that I'm coming to you guys, well, let me just give you guys a heads up. All these books minus 1 is manga. Gonna go ahead and give you guys a heads up. So the first manga volume that I have for you guys today is coming in at 3.5 stars, and that is going to be none other than Outride, Beauty and the Beast. Yes, this is coming in as 3.5 stars. I ain't gonna cap, I'm kind of happy it is coming in at a lower rating because I'm honestly not in the mood or like in a rush, let me say, to go ahead and buy the other manga volumes in the series, simply because well, one, the art. That's really one of my biggest things when it comes to manga. I kind of have to vibe with the art. If I'm not vibing with the art, then I kind of don't want to you know, continue reading, because first of all, it can kind of give me a headache if the art is not hitting like I need it to hit. And I feel like in this series, I don't know, it was just very sometimes hard. I mean, I feel like now that I'm looking at it, it's not that hard, but I also was kind of reading this at nighttime, and I feel like it's a lot of dark drawings and stuff in that, to a point that reading this at nighttime is kind of hard. Even though I mean, of course I had a nightlight on it, but still, it was just kind of hard to read it. And also, I feel like this is one of those series where you kind of have to continue reading it to actually really understand what exactly is all going on, because you have this girl right here who, when you start off with her, she's leaving her friend because her friend, well, first I think she's supposed to go to the movies with her friend. Her friend ended up having to leave because she had to go somewhere with her boyfriend. So she ends up walking back home, and on the way walking back home, she ends up getting hit by a car. And so when she gets hit by a car, she obviously is knocked out. But then we hear these people, or we see these people who we don't see their faces, but we see I guess the people who hit her in the car, they get out the car, and I feel like they were trying to do some hit and run type shit. They really wasn't trying to help her, and it is giving the person that hit her was some type of political top-notch person that didn't want to get caught up in just hitting this girl on the street with that car. So they were gonna do some fishy shit or something like that. But then it fast forwards to her waking up, and she's woken up into this entirely different universe where you got these celestials, I think that's what you call them, 8 of them, 4, I done doubled it, God, y'all, 4 celestials guys that are now in this new universe, that I guess when she got hit by the car and she was knocked out, her planet or her earth was pretty much wiped out, but because she was asleep or knocked out, it didn't affect her. So when she woke up woke up, she woke up in this whole new universe with these 4 guys who all pretty much want to use her body to repopulate the world because the world is gone, except for these celestials. And you know, yeah, they pretty much just want to use her to repopulate the world. And the thing is, she's like she has a fear of boy phobia, so that's gonna be complicated. They pretty much have to like use her to reproduce the world, but with her being a human and them having their own little special powers, they are able to create some type of army that can help them against whatever's going on in their new world or whatever. Some shit like that, y'all. I got this specifically for the smut. I wanted the smut, I wanted to see it, and the gag is that the fact that I really bought this for that simple reason, that specific reason. The little sex scenes and stuff are blurred out, which I did not know.
Oh my god.
They're blurred out. So like it was a scene where you see her like boobs and stuff. I mean, that's fine. It's okay, but I'm not gonna lie, if I'm getting a book and a volume and stuff for the sex scene and you blur it out, I'm like, oh damn. Okay, I guess. Go ahead. But yeah, that happened. That was pretty much the plot of it. And I'm like, oh, okay. The art style was a little hard to see. The plot of it was okay. I mean, I knew for a fact that it was going to be a whole bunch of like reverse harem. That was really the biggest thing, because I showed you guys this in my unboxing. So it was like the reverse harem type of aspect of it was really what was going to like interest me in it and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's coming in at 3.5 specifically because I really just didn't care for the art like that. And the plot was okay. I just don't see myself grabbing the second volume quickly, if that makes sense. So that's why it's coming in at 3.5. Again, that is Outride, Beauty and the Beast. The next volume that is coming in at 3.75 is going to be none other than Yakuza Lover. Yes, this is another one where the smut is blurred out, which I already knew before because I saw a video talking about this one and how it was blurred out. But the reason why it's coming at 3.75, I think the plot of this is really good. I think like the plot is very interesting, you know, and stuff like that. And I know this is going to sound so contradicting and everything, because in my unboxing of these volumes, I talked about how I really enjoy manga, because manga is really just straight to the point. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. But this shit was too straight to the point. Like, it makes no sense. I'm 12 pages into this, and she's already talking about how she loves him. Bitch, please. I cannot fathom. That makes no logical sense to me, because this is pretty much about her. She gets attacked. She's leaving a club with her friend, and she wants a boyfriend so bad. Like, she wants a real relationship with a real boy and all that stuff like that. And so, you know, she's trying to leave this club with her friend, and they ended up walking into another room instead of leaving the exit. And so when they walk into the room, I ain't gonna cap, when I first saw the panel and the art and stuff, I thought they was having an orgy. That's what I thought, especially going into this knowing that this was like a erotic type of, you know, smut type of manga. I'm thinking they having an orgy. That's what they walk into. But no, it was no orgy. They walked into them doing some I don't know if I can say this, they were sniffing up the stuff. And so when the people catch them looking at them snoring up the stuff, they like, oh hell no, we gonna just like force y'all to snort up some stuff so y'all could be a compliance to what we doing. And then he was like, oh hell no. Like, homegirl was like, no. She was picking up chairs trying to fight them off. Like, no, I'm not, you know, being nothing with y'all and nothing like that. But then he comes in. He is Yakuza, and he comes in and he hears her on the outside of the door just pretty much cussing them out like, no, you're not about to force me to do anything. He comes in, pretty much saves them, and gives her a card with his name on it, and pretty much tells her that my name on this card is like it means something, so have this around for your protection. And he sends her on her way with his jacket to keep her warm, her and her friend, and they leave. And then when that happens, she kind of like feels some type of way, like she just feels some type of attraction towards him, which I don't really know why, because nothing really happened for you to feel anything towards him, to be honest, other than him just like, I mean, he saved your life, yes, and he gave you your jacket and his card to protect you, but I mean mean, okay, I guess that's juicy. I guess that's enough to make you want to like pop your legs open for the dude. I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me. But yeah, and then, you know, she sneaks away to try to find him again, and she ends up finding him. And like they just start this like romance where he's like, oh, ever since I first met you or heard you cussing those people out at that club, it's really turned me on, and I really am feeling you and liking you. And she's like, oh, I feel the same way. And it's just like, it's so quick, it's so fast. Like, it's just, the thing is, it's quite a bit of volumes in this series. I don't understand why I'm in the first volume and she's already talking about how she loves him. They're already going on vacation trips and shit. It's like, bitch, damn. And if it is a time jump, I really wish it was illustrated a lot better in this series, to where I'm honestly experiencing the time jump, like a time difference, because this seems like it's really like happening back to back to back to back. Where it's like, damn, you talking about you love this man going on vacation trips and shit. And to be honest with you guys, with me really wanting to get into the whole Yakuza or manga and stuff like that, he is, nothing about him is really like oh yes, Yakuza. Like, nothing about him is really giving off that to me. Like, I'm like, you really ain't, but what are you doing? Like, I don't know, to me he ain't about it. That's just me. And I just came in with, I gave it a 3.75 because I mean, I understand the plot. The plot of it is good. I just wish it had stretched it out a little bit, just a little bit longer. Not forced it to the point that you talk about you love this guy after you met him one time. And I don't know. The art also was a little bit not the best personally, but yeah. Yakuza Lover coming in at 3.75. Alright, you guys, so the next book that I have for you guys is not manga, but it's just a regular book that I read on my Kindle. Do not judge me for the title. I mean, obviously I didn't write the book, but just don't judge me, okay? Because I actually read this earlier in November. Like, this is the first book that I finished in November, and I was in a mood. Ain't gonna cap, I was in a mood. But the title of this, and I'm gonna have to put a picture up for it because again I did read it on my Kindle, but it is titled He's My Thug, I'm His Piece by Teresa Reese. Okay, the title is funny. The title is funny as hell. I ain't gonna cap. But that is the title. I'll put the picture up here so you guys can see it. I read it on my Kindle. I read this earlier in November, so I did finish it, and it has been a while. So I mean, I do remember the premise of it. The main girl, which you can see in the thumbnail, I can't say thumbnail, in the picture that I just posted for you guys to show you for the book, she is currently engaged to a pastor, and she's very happy about that because she kind of grew up, I guess, in like her mom growing up in the streets and stuff like that, and so she didn't want that for her life. So she's very happy that she's engaged to someone who she seems to think is a good person, who has a good job, who's not, you know, a part of that gang life or nothing like that. He's a pastor. Turns out she finds out that fool is actually, he is a pastor, but he's also on the side a drug dealer. So she is pissed, obviously, because she doesn't want that for her life. She lost her mother to that life, even though her mother was actually married to her father, who I remember is a judge. So obviously when she finds that out, she is pissed, and in the midst of her finding out that he is also a drug dealer, the dudes that he's dealing with, you know, come into the house while she's in the house trying to pack up her stuff and leave him. Comes in the house trying to, I guess, find the drugs that he's selling and pretty much trying to off him. While she's in the closet hiding because she hears all this stuff, he comes back. Because this all starts at the very beginning of the book, by I add. She finds out that he's a drug dealer on her way to church. So even though she finds out, she has to put on this face for not only his mother but her father. So she ends up still going to church even though she doesn't ride with him. You know, he does his little sermon and all that stuff. She comes back, she's trying to pack her stuff and leave, and then that's when she hears the banging and hears that the people are trying to come in and like take some stuff and trying to take him out. Of course, he's still at the church. He ends up deciding to leave the church early because, again, she left. And so when he comes in, he's pretty much having a shootout with the people who trying to steal the drugs and stuff back and everything like that. and she sees all this happening. She sees him on the ground hurt because they did shoot him, but he ended up killing one of them and injuring another. Sis, I ain't got time for none of that. So she is leaving. She left. She fled the scene, and then she went to New York, which isn't that far from where she stayed in the book, to go stay with her cousin. And so while she's going to see her cousin, she ends up stopping at a gas station to get some gas, and on her way backing out of the pump, she almost hits some guy in his big car. He hops out. He's like, what are you doing and stuff like that. She comes out blazing with a knife trying to stab. I don't, when I tell you this shit is, I don't even know if I gave y'all the star rating. This shit was so all over the place. It was so wild. But pretty much the guy that she ended up almost like bagging into at the gas station is pretty much the thug in his romance. I don't know if I gave y'all the rating, but I actually rated this 4 stars. Now let me explain why I rated it so high. Because when it's certain books like this, I kind of rate them differently than I would rate regular published books. Simply because, again, obviously those are published. Those have like a whole bajillion of people to read them for like typos and stuff like that. Whereas stuff like this isn't, you know, proofread or anything like that. This is just like a regular old person who writes their books and has them put on Amazon. This is on Kindle Unlimited. And so I do rate them differently. I don't rate them as harsh than I do published books, because obviously published books go through so much more. So at that point, I'm expecting more from them compared to books like this, which was why I rate them on a different scale. So when I rate it on this particular type of scale, it is a 4 stars because I did love the plot. Was it a whole bunch of twists and turns? Yes. Was it a whole bunch of drama? Yes. I ain't gonna cap. I ended up finding this book because I was trying to actually look for black erotic books. Black couple erotic books. Because I have erotic books, but they're usually like black women with other races of men. So I was like, okay, let me try to see what kind of erotic books they may have for black, like just black couples, and see how it works. So that's exactly how I ran into this book. But the gag is, as far as the erotic goes for the book, that will probably be the biggest, like, I don't know if I should blame that on the book or should I just blame Google, because I did go into Google looking for black erotic books and then this came up. Because the erotic, as far as that goes, is not that erotic. It really isn't. It really isn't that erotic. It was very quick. Like, I'm talking about maybe a chapter, not chapter, excuse me. That's what I'm used to when it comes to me reading erotic books. This was like a paragraph on a page. That's how the erotic really is in this book compared to like my actual erotic books where, you know, your girl, it takes up a chapter, okay? It takes up a couple of pages. This was like a little bit, like a little paragraph in the chapter on the page. So it wasn't a lot. But as far as the drama, plot, suspense, storyline, I think it was pretty dang good, even though it was all over the place. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, all that was pretty much all over the place. I ain't gonna cap with you, but nonetheless, I really did enjoy myself when reading this. And it is like 2 other books in the series that I do plan on reading. I just haven't jumped into it yet because I just went straight into my manga because I needed a break because it was so much. It was a lot. So I think I might, you know, hop back into it. You will probably see the other 2 books in my December wrap up, but they were very quick reads too. They were like 170 something pages, so it wasn't a lot either. But yeah, so He's My Thug, I'm His Piece by Teresa Reese. That's a bar right there. But yeah, I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed myself reading that. So that's that one. The next book, now the rest of these are just going to be manga volumes, but the next one I have is Love Is an Illusion Volume 2. I know you guys can't see it because of the reflection and it's so bright, but yeah, this is volume 2 of Love Is an Illusion. Now this is also a BL erotic romance as well. I think we're all pretty familiar with this one. I'm not gonna cap, I originally was gonna rate this lower. This is also 4 stars. I think I told you guys that, but I was actually gonna rate this lower. But that was also when I was like towards the beginning of this, because actually I think previously, I don't know if it was September, maybe it could have been that month, where in one of my reading wrap-ups I ended up DNFing volume 2. I DNF'd it, so I hopped back into it. I reread it from the very beginning and read it all the way to the end. And in the beginning of it, maybe it was because I already read it and I just decided to reread it to get like the full picture of what was exactly going on and refresh my memory of the story, that it was kind of like okay. And I also, again, I started reading this simply because, well, this actually, Love is an Illusion was actually my first ever volume that I bought of manga. Like my first, that one and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Those two are my first ever volumes of manga that I've ever purchased ever. So I genuinely got this one because it was like LGBT, it was going to be erotic, and I was like, period. I mean, those two things I was just like, that's what I was in the mood for at the time, and plus the covers were really cute. So of course I kind of forgot that this is also blurred out, even though I don't mind now because I remembered as I was refreshing it, but also not just because it was blurred out, but also because I initially got this because of the smut. So the fact that I kind of felt like the smut didn't really reveal itself in this one until like towards the end, I was kind of like, I'm not feeling this, because initially I got this for the smut, and I just kind of felt like it was trying to give me a storyline that I really didn't give a F about, because if you guys don't remember, he's the alpha, he's the alpha, let me just look at it, because it shows it right here. You have the omega, the alpha, and the beta. He's the alpha, he's the omega, and he's, for the longest, always thought, if you guys, I don't know if you guys can see, he always thought that he was a alpha. And so he meets him, and he tells him like, no, you're not an alpha at all, you're like definitely an omega, I can smell your pheromones, I think that's what they call it. And so when he finds that out, obviously that is like a rude awakening for him. They ended up doing some little nasty in the first volume, and he ends up getting him pregnant. And so you got this volume where you got him dealing with the pregnancy. He obviously does not want to keep the baby, but he wants him to keep the baby, and we kind of figure out why, because he is honestly actually developing feelings for him. And he is very bratty. I remember I was watching somebody's manga video, and they was talking about how they kind of didn't think they would continue the love. No, it was a book shopping video I was watching, and they was talking about they like went past Love is an Illusion, and they was like, I don't think I would continue it because they felt like he was a brat, which I completely agreed with at the time. And I think it was the reason why I was like, I'm not really feeling this, because he's kind of low-key annoying, and he's so bratty about everything. And I mean, he was really like, I'll have the baby if you give me money, which I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I do mind, but I don't mind. I mind in the real world. I don't mind in fiction world. But because he wanted him to keep the baby, and I mean, he is going through his body. He's going through all the changes. So he was like, I'll pay you whatever you want. Just have the baby, and you can give me the baby, and I'll be like taking full responsibility for raising the child. You don't have to worry about it. Just have the baby, and I'll give you money, and you can just go on about your life. That's what he told him. So he was like, okay, bet, because he was broke, he had no money, he had no job like that, so period. So you go through all that with them, and it's a lot. So I felt like originally the plot was like not giving what it needs to be giving, especially when I initially just got this for the smut. But as I kind of just stuck out with reading it, I really did actually enjoy the plot, and I do think it's going to be a lot more, because you're going to like dive more into like his like upbringing and his mom, because we got a little peek into like how he was raised with his mom and the abuse she received from his father. And then you also got him, who's a part of this very rich family and stuff like that. So you're getting like their backstory, and also like the kid is born, and like just that whole, all that going on. So as I continue reading it, and I got pretty much past the stuff that I had previously read when I had DNF'd this, I think I really did start enjoying it. And you know, I was like, okay, the plot is kind of pretty good, and I kind of like that they're giving them a little bit more information, a little bit more depth, if you will, to the story. So I ended up switching it because originally it was going to be like a 3.75 or 3.5, something like that. But as I continue reading, I continue enjoying how it was uncovering their little backstories and stuff into it. I was like, okay, I am actually enjoying it, and I enjoyed it so much that I did buy the next 2 volumes. You'll see that in my Crunchyroll unboxing. But yeah, so I ended up giving this Love is an Illusion Volume 2 4 stars. Now, the next 2 series I'm going to show you guys are going to be quick, simple, and done because these are now my 5 stars. My 5-star reads is none other than, the first series I'll show you guys, none other than Cheeky Brat. Okay, I read not only 3, 4, 5, and 6, as you guys can see right here. Bam. Okay, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Cheeky Brat, all coming in. They're all coming in at 5 stars, okay? Like, I'll be shocked, especially when I showed you guys so many of me unboxing these and my first unboxing of my manga series and stuff like that. So yes, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all coming in at 5 stars. I love it. I'm currently would hop into volume 7, but I think I'm waiting because I know volume 9 is coming out the beginning of next year. I think, is it January 31st? So the end of the first month next year, volume 9 is coming out, and I kind of just, I don't know, I don't want to sit on it, like just read volume 7 and 8 and then be like, okay, I'm waiting for, you know, the rest of the stuff to come and be released. But yes, it's 5-star series. It's so good. First of all, the spines and the art, stinking cute and adorable. I love how the story is going. I'm currently at, again, when I start back reading it, I will be hopping back into volume 7, and I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say a relationship has been built finally, because again, it's built up between these two. You got Yuki, I want to say it's Yuki. It is Yuki and Naru's. These are the two. Yuki is her, and then that's Naru's right there. And she again is the basketball manager, and she ended up starting that whole like basketball manager job because she liked it. The head basketball star at the time that was like a senior. I'm just gonna say senior because again, that's how we look at grades and stuff: senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. Whereas for them, it's completely something different that I just can't remember. So I'm just gonna say senior for right now. He's a senior, and she thinks he's really cute and adorable, and so she joins to become the basketball manager so she can get close to him. But then she ends up finding out that he has a girlfriend, so that kind of blocks her trying to get anything with him, build anything with him. But Naru's, who I want to say, because she's like a junior, yeah, that he's like a sophomore, if you want to look at it that way, he finds out that she has like this crush on the head person, which obviously she doesn't want anybody to find out. So that kind of just builds up. It's like stepping stones for them, is building their relationship towards each other, because he finds this out. Obviously she doesn't want him to say anything, and as that goes on, they develop their own like relationship in a way, because Naru's ends up like really liking Yuki, and so you just have this whole entire build-up of him consistently pursuing her, trying to start something with her, and her constantly pushing him away, saying, no, you're younger than me, and you're such a brat, which again, I told you guys in that unboxing, I really enjoy how the author always includes some way of Yuki calling Naru's a brat, either cheeky brat or something like along those lines. It's just so stinking cute to me that she's always saying that about him. But yeah, so you go with these 4 volumes of them just going through, trying to understand her feelings towards him, and trying to understand how to explain her feelings towards him to him, as well as her being the manager of the basketball team. Also her being now, I think it may be, I know it's definitely in volume 6, but maybe in volume 5 as well, her like now being a senior and him being a junior, so now she like gotta worry about entrance exams into college and stuff like that. And so yeah, you have all that going on in like these 4 volumes, and it's just so stinking cute. It's just really good. I really enjoy this series. I definitely would highly recommend this series. Again, coming in at 5 stars is volumes 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Cheeky Brat. And last but not least, the last volumes that I have, the last 2 from the same series, is none other than Spy Family, volumes 5 and volume 6, coming in at 5 stars as well. I love this story. I love Anya, I love Yor, I love Lloyd, I love all the characters. It's just a 10 out of 10, and I especially love these volumes, especially this one. And this one as well, because now we're getting we got introduced to Nightfall, which is her, who ends up having like this crush on Lloyd, and you know, trying to take Yor's place as Anya's mother and his wife in this whole mission that he has. And I'm like, bitch, back the fuck up. But I hope they continue on that kind of like that rivalry, because you kind of in these volumes got how Yor really wanted to be a really good wife to Lloyd. Now he always kind of reassures her that you're doing an amazing job, and you kind of have that relationship build up that's coming between them two, and I'm just like, yes, I need all of it. I need it all. 10 out of 10 recommend, okay? I love it so much. I love it. I just really can't wait. I do, as you guys saw again in that manga unboxing, volume 10. So I really could continue reading this. I don't know. It's something about it where like if you read it all, you finish it, then you gotta sit here and wait for volume 11. And then that's the thing. Like I haven't put myself in a situation to where I'm reading something that needs to be finished, but it hasn't been released yet, if that makes sense. Like for example, Blue Flag, that's one of my other favorite like series. I finished that because all the volumes are out, you know, and even though I'm reading Spy Family and Cheeky Brat that aren't completed, I guess I just don't force myself to continue like reading all through the series, because I know they're not finished, and then I'll have to wait for them to be released. And I haven't put myself in that situation to be waiting for manga volumes to come out, because I don't continue reading like one particular series. The only one I've ever did was Blue Flag. But yeah, this is coming in at 5 stars, volumes 5 and volume 6. So again, I also will be hopping into volume 7 when I hop back into Spy Family. So yeah, you guys, that was pretty much my wrap up. Again, we got 5 and 6 of Spy Family, 4 volumes of Cheeky Brat, which is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Love is an Illusion, volume 2. He's My Thug, I'm His Piece by Teresa Reese, which is a Kindle Unlimited book. And then Yakuza Lover, volume 1. And then Outride, which is volume 1 as well. Also, as you guys know, I do have volume 2 of Yakuza Lover. I don't know when I'll be hopping into it, just because again, it was okay. It wasn't all that to me like I thought it would be. But besides that, bam, this is all the books I read this month. Well, excuse me, last month, November. And yeah, that is pretty much my wrap up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you turn on your notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!